that copy for our discussion today. So these questions are actually from past year questions. So you can see that I put here around three questions for us to discuss in today's class. Okay, so now let's look at the first question first. So this one, when you see the keyword run, squash, and so on, so these are actually related to the sequence. Okay, so related to the sequence. So if you see the past year questions, this type of question you will see quite frequent in the past year questions. So that's why I took that question as one of the question, okay, for us to discuss today. Okay, so if you refer to the question here, you can see that you have to analyze the expression here. That is actually what you have to do, looking at the expression here, and then you have to produce result. Okay, but before you can produce the result, you have to make sure that you show the steps. So you have to produce the result and also by showing the steps. So if you look at these two part here, so if the question asks you like this, meaning that there are marks for steps also. So you don't just put the answer only, the result only, without putting the steps. Because if you didn't show the step, you will lose mark for it. For example, let's say the marks is 3 marks, for example. So most probably 2 marks for the working, okay, for the steps. Another 1 mark is for the result. So if let's say you just put the result, so you will get only 1 mark. Another 2 marks will not be given to you because you didn't show the steps. So make sure that if let's say you have this kind of a question and then it asks you to show the steps, please put the step by step on how to solve this kind of question. Okay, so now let's do question number 1 first. Okay, so from here, you will see that I think this one maybe, if I'm not mistaken, already in the tutorial. That's okay. I already, in the tutorial 14, if I'm not mistaken, I already took, but just in case. Okay, so from here, okay, you look at the part here, the first one that you have to solve is this one. Okay, means that you have to override this one with u. Okay, so let me copy the whole thing here. Okay, so you override 9 with u. So you calculate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So means that this one will be u here. Then you remove this part here. Okay, so means that you already updated this part with u. Okay, you already update this part with u. Then you will have that. Okay, and then after that, okay, I have to remove this one also, the bracket, because I'm using this. And then after that is, the next one is concatenation. Okay, so you have to do concatenation after that. Okay, so here will be concatenate. So you just put like that. Okay, so you just put like that. And then after that you see front. Here you see front means you take this value other than the last one. Okay, this value other than the last one. So means that you remove y here. Okay, you remove y here. Okay, so this is front data. And then of course after that, the last one is for you to look at the filter operator. Okay, filter operator, you have to look A. Do you have A or not in your original sequence? So in this case, you look at A, so no A means there's no A. Then you look at E. So also no E, then you have I. Okay, so this is I. You have I. So I highlight I, and then no more I, then you have O. Okay, so O here you have, and then you have another one O here. Let me remove the highlight for you here. Okay, so you have O also here. like this, then you have also U here, and then you have also U here. Okay, so from here, okay, so you see the one highlighted here. So this is actually your answer. So when you have this, then you have to write your answer in sequence symbol. Okay, so let me copy the whole thing here. Okay, so you just remove the one that is actually not needed. Okay, so don't change the order. Don't change the order. You just put as whatever that your order is actually from the original one. So you just put like this. No need to rearrange according to A, E, I, O, U. No need. What you have to do is you just pick the data and then you just show that according to the original order. Okay, so the last answer will be this one. Okay, the last answer will be this one. So means that you have to show these steps. Okay, so I'm not so sure what is the marks for that. So if let's say 3 marks, most probably this step will give you 2 marks for that. And then maybe this one will be 1 mark for your result. Okay, so if let's say the question asks you to show the step, make sure that you show the steps to get the marks. Okay, to get the marks. Okay, so that is actually how you answer this kind of question. Okay, the next one here is using squash operator. Okay, squash operator. So first thing is, of course, you solve tail first. Okay, you solve tail first. So in this one, tail will be not included the head. So this is the tail part. Okay, not including the head. So after that, okay, you just take the 4 to 6. Okay, 4 to 6 means 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 4 to 6, this one. Okay, so you are looking at this STU only. Okay, STU only. Then your result after you squash will be STU also. Okay, will be this one only, yeah, STU after you squash operator that. Okay, so this is the answer. But because the number is 4 to 6, after you do squash operator, if let's say you want to convert to function style, the numbering will be different already. So the numbering will be 1 maplet to S, 2 maplet to T, and then 3 maplet to U. Okay, so if you convert to a function, the numbering here will not be 4 to 6 anymore. It will be 1 to 3 already. But when you do squash operator, the answer must be in sequence, means inside the angle bracket. You cannot show your answer like this. Okay, if you use squash operator, except you have other operation using domain restriction, anti-restriction, whatever, then that is different case. Okay, but now, okay, because we didn't have any other operation, so meaning that the last answer will be in sequence where you have to use angle bracket. Okay, so that is actually for squash operator here. Okay, the next one is extraction operator. Means that you look at the sequence, but you look at the domain data. Okay, you look at the domain data. Here, just now where? This one is filter, where you look at the range data. Actually, you look at the range data. But here, you look at the domain data. Okay, so for this one, okay, so what you have to do is, okay, so front means other than the last. Okay, front is other than last. Okay, then you look at 2 and 3 only. So 1, 2, 3. So you look at E and R only. So the last answer will be in sequence symbol, but you have E and R only. Okay, you have E and R only. So meaning that, okay, if you convert this into a function, the numbering also will be different. Okay, let me copy this one. So the numbering will be different already. Okay, will be like that. Okay, but your answer must be in sequence style using angle bracket. Okay, using angle bracket. So same thing as number one also lah. Number one also, if you want to show in function style, you have like this lah. Okay, one for this one lah. If you want to show in function style lah, two, you have I, three, you have U, four, you have O, and then five, you have U again. Okay, so it's actually the numbering will be different already. Okay, the numbering will be different already. So you will, because even though you go for the front, whatever, squash, and so on, you will get a new numbering. So from filter and so on, you will get a new numbering. So the numbering will be automatically will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Okay, so that is actually if let's say you want to convert this into function style, looking at how the functions looks like. Okay, so but the actual answer when you want to write the answer in for this question must be inside angle bracket for these three questions. Okay, so that is actually the answer for 1, 2, 3 here. Okay, so the next one here is actually using. Okay, so you see here this question I combine with relational image. Okay, I combine with relational image. So same case, okay, you have to solve this one first, where you have to solve tail first. Okay, you have to solve tail first, means that accept the head. So this is the one. Okay, accept the head. So you will get that. So after that, okay, you have to do inverse, right? Okay, so you have to do inverse. So if let's say you are confused on how to do inverse, okay, my suggestion is for you to do like this. Okay, convert to a function first. Okay, so means that if let's say some of you feel confused how to do inverse for this one, you just convert to a function first. Just the sequence here, convert to a function first. Okay, so this is how we convert to a function. Put the numbering in front, and then okay, let me put this one first. 5 O-R-M-A-L. Okay, and then 6 will be M. 7 will be E. 8 will be L-M-E-T. Okay, 9 will be H. Okay, 10 will be O, and the last one 11 will be D. Okay, so you do convert like this. Okay, and then you do inverse for it. Okay, you do inverse. Where is the inverse function? And then you copy this one. If you feel confused on how to do this, okay, and then after that, okay, you inverse, right? So means that this one will be inverse. Okay, will be inverse where, okay, 0, you have maplet 1. Okay, and then R will be maplet 2, and then here 3, and so on lah. Okay, so let me put this value. If I put wrong number, you let me know. Okay, so this is how you do it. Then you do this one. Okay, you do this one. Okay, so from here you see that. Okay, we are looking at using the relational image. So M and O. So you refer the domain. So I have O here. I have M here. M here also. And another O here. Okay, so I have O, M, O here. Okay, so I have 2M to O. So, but the last answer, remember, when we do the relational image, we will get only the range data. So the last answer, because the last answer will be range data only, and this is not a sequence, then make sure that you use curly bracket. Okay, so the answer will be 1, 3, 6, and 10. Okay, 1, 3, 6, and 10 as the last answer. Okay, so that is actually how you write the answer for this one. Okay, because now you are combining with the relational image. So relational image is different, not a sequence anymore. So that's why your last answer will not be inside angle bracket. It must be inside curly braces. Okay, for this one. So make sure that you know what you are doing inside this question. Okay, so that is the answer for this part, number 4 here. Okay, the next one is also using squash operator, but now we are removing this part. Okay, so meaning that, okay, I have, okay, let me copy the whole thing here first. So 3, 3 to 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this one, we are going to remove this 3, this 4, sorry, this 4 data. So means that I will have only this part. Okay, I will have only this part. Then I will do squash operator for that. Okay, so squash operator means I will get also the sequence. Means that the numbering here will be arranged in order. Okay, so I have this. Okay, right? And that means that the last answer will be in sequence. In sequence. Okay, in sequence. So it will be P and D. Okay, so the last answer will be this one. Okay, so squash operator here is to update the numbering. Means that if you remove these, the actual numbering here will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that. So when you do squash, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on. So from here, when you use head, the numbering here is actually in order already. So that is the use of squash operator. So because head is only the first one from the list, so your last answer will be B. Okay, your last answer will be B for this question. So when you use head, the result is a sequence, then you have to use angle bracket. Okay, you have to use angle bracket for this one. Okay, so that is the answer for number 1. So when you see this kind of scenario, similar like your tutorial 14, also inside the tutorial 14, similar questions like this, you have to show the step, means you have to put something like this, showing the steps according to something like this. Okay, so because there are marks for the steps. Okay, if the question asks you to show the steps. Okay, so that is for question number 1. Okay, the next question number 2. Okay, so this one is actually also from the partial questions where we are going to model aircraft system. Okay, where you have fixed capacity and 6 are numbered. Okay, but this one, the number here is actually, the scenario is every time you buy or you want to board the aircraft, the seats are assigned to you in sequence. Okay, means that you cannot choose the seat. If you are the first one, then you sit at seat number 1. Second, seat number 2. Third, and so on. Continue. Sorry, previous question. Which question? May I know which previous question you are asking? Which one? 158? Yes, huh? Oh, sorry. I didn't remove. Sorry. I think I removed just now. I thought, okay, this one. Is it this one you asked me? Okay. Accidentally didn't remove it. Okay, sorry. Thank you. Yes, you have to remove this one. Okay. Yes, correct. Okay. So I didn't remove it just now. I thought I removed it. Okay. So means that you just leave it like this. Okay, from your answer. Remove the one that I highlight this one. Okay. So means that your last answer will still be P lah, even though you remove that data. Okay, thank you for telling me. Okay. Let's proceed. So the second question here is actually about the aircraft system, but in this scenario, okay, because when it comes to final exam, whatever, we cannot tell you a lot of things to do. So mostly this one, we are going to do capacities, fixed capacity for our aircraft, and then the seats number are actually sequentially given to you. Means if you are the first one comes, you take the number 1. If you are the second one, take seat number 2, and so on. So given you the example like this already, okay, in the question. Okay, and then if you want to disembark, means go out from the aircraft, so the last one will go first. Means that last in, first out. Okay, last in, first out. Okay, last in, first out means that if you are the last passenger in the aircraft, then you are going to have last in, first out. Okay, and then here also there are actually calculation for this, where if you are actually have bring luggage, maximum is only 20 kg. Okay, if let's say exceed 20, then you have to pay 50 ringgit for each 1 kg exceeded lah, for example. And then you were given a person, okay, of all possible persons who may board the aircraft, and then the capacity just now to show that there are limited capacity of the aircraft. Okay, so in this question also you were given, okay, the state space for the aircraft. Okay, so this is sequence of person, and then these are actually in terms of weight and how much you have to pay, okay, if exceed the weight, for example. Okay, so and also you were given this one, okay, where number of passengers cannot exceed the capacity, and then of course the domain here, okay, is actually related to the person. And then this one is to indicate that we cannot, because this is we are using sequence of person. So here it shows that actually this statement is to show that, okay, if you are the passenger, okay, if you are the passenger, you are actually cannot be duplicated. I mean, it's similar like I sequence, okay? It's similar like if you have I sequence here, you don't need this one. Okay, this one is just to because this is partial question, so sometimes we try to actually put some extra additional information so that you will have to think a little bit lah when you answer the question. But actually, it's similar like I sequence only. Okay, similar like I sequence only. Okay, so now, okay, so this question is actually to do only 2 operations, because I just took from the past year question. Maybe during that time, I'm not so sure how many marks for this one. I cannot remember. So for this one, if you have to do any aircraft, Okay, so this is partial question. So init aircraft. Okay, you have to do init aircraft. So maybe we can add some question here. Aircraft, our state space called aircraft. And then you have passenger, luggage weight, and luggage charge. Passenger, what else? What else? Passengers, luggage weight. Sorry, luggage weight. Another one is what? Luggage charge. Okay, so you just passengers is sequence, so you put empty sequence. Okay, luggage weight is person to end, so you can put empty set. And then here also empty set. Okay, so you see what kind of the sequence that you use here during our tutorial questions, similar like toll plaza. Remember about toll plaza there, where you have toll booth, different toll booths there. So meaning that you have different queue at the toll booth there. Okay, different queue at the toll booth there. Okay, passenger 1G, 1E, passengers 1G. I mean like, is my spelling correct or not? Passengers. Correct lah, 1G. Okay, so means that if let's say you have different queue, then you need a domain. Remember, like we do
Monday,
we did
Tuesday,
in our
Wednesday,
Toll Plaza
Thursday,
last time.
Friday, Saturday,
You have
Sunday.
counter or tool booth there. Okay, where you have different tool booths, then the queue is actually according to the tool booth here. But for our aircraft here, we have only one queue. Those who are bought the aircraft will just go one by one inside the aircraft. So we have only one queue. We don't need to have the queue number, the how to say, the different queue. Okay, so that's why here we have a sequence of passenger only. Okay, we have a sequence of passenger only. So that's why in this question, okay, we don't have the domain data for queue here. Okay, so we don't have the domain data for queue here. Okay, so in this case, okay, in this case, okay, we just use the passenger sequence of passenger only. So different from our exercise in our tutorial. Okay, so now, so that's why for that tutorial, normally because we have domain, for example, tool booth as the domain, and then we use function, application, and so on. The data here we use empty set. But when it comes to a normal sequence like this, we have a sequence only for this one. Then here we use empty sequence. Okay, so make sure that when you have this kind of scenario, you refer to your declaration of your variable, how you declare your variable. If you declare like function application where you have domain and range is a sequence, then you have to use empty set. But if you have something like this where you don't have any domain straight away as a sequence, then you go for the empty sequence. Okay, so you refer to the state space, how you declare your variable. Okay, so after you have done the initial state, then of course in Z schema, after the initial state, then we proceed with the operation schema. So now let's say we want to board the aircraft. Okay, when we want to board the aircraft, okay, so you are going to add at the back of the sequence, okay. But in this question, they did not bring any luggage, okay. So for this case, means does not bring any luggage. So luggage weight and luggage charge will be zero automatically. Okay, so you can actually initialize the data to zero. You don't need to request for the input for that one. Okay, because no luggage actually brought by the passenger. Okay, so for this one, if you want to board the aircraft, there will be an update to the aircraft, and then maybe I need P passenger. Our data type is person. Okay, to know who is actually the person that is actually going to board the aircraft. Okay, so of course, when you want to board the aircraft, okay, we have to make sure that the person is actually not exist yet in our sequence, in our passengers as our passengers. And another one that we have to consider is in terms of the capacity. Okay, because we already put the capacity here, meaning that we have to consider the capacity for this person. Okay, so first of all, P must not exist in our aircraft. So means that P, okay, so we have to check with passenger. Okay, so it's a sequence of person. Remember when we talk about sequence of person, the domain is the numbering, the actual data of passenger will be the range data. So when we are talking about person here, we are talking about the range of our sequence. Okay, so that's why here we have to put when passenger. Okay, when passenger. Don't put passengers only. Don't put passengers only because our data now, okay, it is a sequence. Okay, it is a sequence. Then when it comes to sequence, the domain is a non-zero value. The range is the actual data. Okay, the range is the actual data. So when you do comparison, okay, when you do not comparison, something like checking and so on, so you have to check with the range data from a sequence. Okay, so that's why for this one, we are looking at the range data of our passenger. Okay, and then, like I told you just now, we cannot exceed the capacity. So for a sequence, you can just use hashtag passengers. Okay, you can just use hashtag only, similar like a normal function that you have done before. So to know that it does not exceed the capacity, then you use hashtag passenger less than capacity. Okay, hashtag passengers less than capacity. So meaning that we are checking from our capacity, assuming that we have 200 capacity in our aircraft. So maximum that if we want to allow a passenger to actually board the aircraft, the maximum total now, okay, total passenger in the aircraft should be 199. That is the maximum. So that at the end, we can allow another person to actually board the aircraft. So total passengers here must be lesser than capacity. Okay, lesser than capacity. So after that, if no more checking, then we have to update our variable. So we have three variables here. Let me copy the whole variable here. Okay, so we have three variables here: passengers, okay, luggage weight, and also luggage charge. Okay, so as the question say that the passenger did not bring anything. Okay, so for here, Okay, you can initialize to 0 later lah for luggage weight and luggage charge. Okay, for passenger here, we need to add the passenger, okay, into our aircraft. Okay, so we have to make sure that our passengers, because this is a sequence, you cannot use union. Remember, because now our declaration is a sequence, we cannot use union. So in order for us to add the person into our database, okay, we have to make sure that we use concatenation. So in order for us to add, so we just do concatenation, put the symbol angle bracket, then you put here P question mark. Okay, P question mark to show that we add the passenger to the last one inside our database. Should be S. Okay, inside our database here. Okay, so we have to make sure that you use concatenation as our symbol to add into our database. Okay, so why we need to do angle bracket? Because you have to remember, when it is a sequence, there are numbering involved as the domain. Our variable here is without numbering. Okay, it's only a single person without a numbering. So in order for us to add this person into our database, we have to add the numbering for this person. So that's why we have to use the angle bracket here. When we put angle bracket means we are adding a number to this person. Assuming that now in our database you have 150 passengers already. So when we do like this one will become 151 for P2 here. So you cannot put like curly braces ever, because curly braces is without numbering. So in order for us to add to a sequence, you have to use angle bracket here. Okay, so when you add angle bracket, you are actually adding numbering as the domain to our passenger here. Okay, so from here, we will have the continuation of the numbering for this question. Okay, and then after that, okay, we have to update luggage because no luggage brought by the passenger. So of course, no charge for the passenger. So you just put a normal update. Okay, you put union, union. Okay, and then person. Okay, person means P question mark maplet to 0. And then here, same thing. Okay, luggage charge. Okay, so union, same thing. You put 0 also. Okay, so that is actually how you do the operation. If let's say the question asks you, assuming that the question asks you to put, okay, for example, let's say I update this question. Okay, so I update this one, for example, where the passenger, okay, brings a luggage. Okay, let's say brings a luggage with the weight of 25 kilogram into the aircraft. Okay, let's say, okay, let's say the weight is 25 kilogram into the aircraft. Assuming we have this. Okay, assuming that I have another question, okay, where the passenger brings a luggage with a weight of 25 kg into the aircraft. Okay, so from here you see that you have weight already. And then this weight is actually exceed minimum weight here. Maximum weight here. Okay, meaning that another additional 5 kg need to be charged here. Okay, need to be charged. So you have to make sure that you do a calculation for that. So for this one, okay, you have to do calculation for that. So for this one, let's say, of course, I have Similar like bought aircraft just now, I have cannot exceed the capacity. If you want, okay, you can have the calculation straight away here. Okay, so this one maybe you can put straight away 25 kg. But for this one, you have to make sure that you do calculation. Okay, so for here, okay, you can put something like 25 minus 20 if you want, because if you don't put input here, you can do like this. But my suggestion is to add the value. But here you can do like this, okay, times with 15 just now, okay, where you have to charge the luggage charge. But if let's say in order for you to have a calculation like this, you can do straight away the formula here, no problem. So it means that 25 minus 20 kg, the maximum, so you have 5 times 5 will be the total charge that the passenger has to pay. Or another one is, okay, you can add the input, okay, because the question does not ask you whether you need to provide input or not. So this one is up to you, okay. You can have luggage, let's say luggage, wait WGT lah, weight, luggage weight, okay, of type N, for example. So you can actually have like this, weight equals to 25 if you want. Okay, if you want the value weight here. Okay, then here will be weight, here will be weight also. Similar like just now. Okay, so either you want to have input here, or you can straight away put like this, no problem. It's up to how you want to answer the question, because the value was given to you already in the question. So you don't need to do something like a lot of calculation, like for exam and so on. You don't need to do that. You just straight away answer the question according to the data given to you. Okay, so in this case, you just put like this, weight equals to 25, because the question say 25 already. Then you just put weight minus 20, because a maximum capacity for free will be 20 only. Then exceed that, you will be charged for 15 ringgit per kg, per 1 kg here. Okay, per kg exceeded. Okay, so you just start with 15 here. Okay, so that is another way of answering the question if you are given question like this. Okay, if you are given question like this, so you can have a scenario like this. Okay, so you have a scenario like this. Okay, so now assume that I have another question. This is 1, 2, this should be 3 lah. Okay, that's okay lah, the numbering no problem. Assume that I have a question where, okay, let's say this is number 4. Okay, doesn't matter. Okay, number 3 or 4 here. I want, okay, disembark aircraft. Disembark, where one passenger, okay, that allow the last passenger to leave the aircraft. Okay, so to leave the aircraft, assuming this is our question. Okay, so to leave the aircraft. Okay, so an operation schema that called disembark aircraft that allows the last passenger to leave the aircraft. Okay, so you remember the question just now? If you refer back to the question, when disembarking the aircraft, the sequence will start from the last passenger. So in this question, we will put as the last passenger lah here, because the question say the last passenger. So if you have this kind of scenario, okay, so this embark aircraft, okay, we will have an update to our aircraft, okay. but we need to know the last person in our sequence. Okay, so we have to have, because we want to remove that person from our sequence, then there will be an update to our database data. So of course, P must be a member of our sequence, means ran passengers. Okay, so P must exist in our system if you want to allow a passenger to leave, the last passenger to leave the aircraft. So that must exist in our database. We don't need to consider the capacity because the passenger is already inside the aircraft. So we don't need to consider the capacity. Okay, we don't need to consider the capacity. So in this case, we don't need to consider the capacity. But we have to make sure that because our system is actually last in, first out, we have to make sure that the the passenger that you want to allow disembark the aircraft must be the last in our system. Okay, so we can put P question mark equals to last passengers. Okay, we have the operation front, last, and then you have also head and tail. Okay, so you can use that operator. Okay, so in order for us to allow the passenger to leave the aircraft, the passenger must be the last person from our sequence. Okay, so that's why we use last here. Okay, we use last here. Okay, and then after that, we have to update our database. Okay, so let me copy the whole thing. Okay, let me copy the whole thing here. Okay, I want to update. Okay, so here I will remove the data first. Okay, so I want to allow the person to leave the aircraft. Okay, so means that the person must be the last of my passengers in the sequence. Okay, then after that, after he leave the aircraft, I need to update my passengers list. Okay, my passengers list. So in this case, oh, missing N. If I'm missing the spelling, you just let me know. Sometimes, yeah, right? Missing error. Okay, so in this case, okay, how to update? If you remove the last, okay, you have the front passengers. Leave with the front passengers. Okay, so remember, first in, first out, you normally use head and tail for first in, first out. But when it comes to first in, last in, first out, LIFO, last in, first out, you go for front and last. So the last person go out, so the rest of the passenger will be from the front. Okay, last passenger goes out, then the passengers who left in the aircraft will be the front passengers. Okay, so you update with the front passengers. Okay, for luggage, okay, because we have only one input, domain, then you can use domain, domain anti-restriction. Okay, so you can use domain anti-restriction like this. So same thing for the luggage charge also. Okay, so you can use domain anti-restriction. So that is actually how you update your database. Okay, how you update your database. Okay, so in this case, if disembark, because our scenario is last in, first out, then normally we use last and first, sorry, last and front. Okay, so if you go for the Q, first in, first out, normally you have head and tail. So if you refer to your first question just now from this here, You have front, you have tail, head, and so on. Here don't have last. I'm not so sure. Don't have last. So it means that these are actually the one that you can actually use in your scenario for your sequence. So in this case, last in first out. So you use last and front. Okay, last and front. So you are actually using this to to actually update your database data. Okay, so that is actually for third question lah. I added a few more here for you to understand clearly on how to answer the sequence. And for the error scenario, I think you can actually do that yourself. You can refer to the error scenario here, and then you create your own list of messages or error messages. Then you can do the normal error scenario for this question lah, for these questions, if you want to try to do the error scenario. Okay. And the last question here will be about a trophy medal here. Actually, the scenario here, trophy medal for our written test, I use this scenario. Okay, just that the question I change, okay, according to your written test lah. This one, okay, I make the question as a bet, okay, as a bet for this scenario. Okay, different from your assignment where I change according to the question. Okay, but the scenario is the same where you have the trophy, set of product, and also category and design, similar as what you did in your test. Just that in this question, I actually change the question into back question. Okay, into back question. So when you see in the question the word multi-set, okay, it means back. Okay, it means back. So you don't think other than that. So when you see the keyword multi-set, automatically this is a back. Okay, this is a back. So when you want to do your state space schema, okay, when you want to do your state space schema, so just put the keyword back. So in this case, it's called trophy medal. Okay, so you have the multi-set of all products in the shop. So maybe I use product. Okay, you can use other variable because in this question, it doesn't state it to you what are the variable name to be used. So you can put your own variable. You can put medal also, no problem. So let's say bag of product. Okay, bag product. Okay, then category. Okay, this one is the product partial function to category. And then you have design, product, okay, partial function to design, and price is actually product, okay, partial function to, okay, in this question, the price of the product in the shop, it doesn't state it whether non-zero value or not. You can put N, but if you want to put N1 also, can, okay, because the question didn't state it whether can be zero or not. So it's up to you. You can put N or N1, no problem. Okay, there is no error if you put without one here, no error. You want to put N1 also, can, because the question did not say anything. If the question say that where the value cannot be zero, for example, then you must do N1 here. Okay, but if let's say you still use N, okay, then inside here you have to do something to show that cannot be zero. Okay, so it's up to how you want to answer the question. Okay, assuming that I add this, assuming that I add this in the question. Okay, assuming that I add this in the question, I put N here. So of course the rest is actually DOM price equals to DOM design equals to DOM category. And then remember, when it comes to back of product, the domain is the actual data, the range is the quantity. So that's why here we have to put DOM product. Okay, DOM product. So if let's say, if let's say I have this question put here, then because here is can be 0, but you have to show that the value cannot be 0, then you have to add another one, rank price must be greater than 0. Okay, if you have this statement here. Okay, or straight away, you use this as N1. Okay, when you use this N1, then you don't need this anymore. Okay, you don't need that line anymore because now it's already N1. Okay, so you don't need this anymore. So if let's say you put this, you need this because it's according to the question. Okay, according to the question. So read the question carefully. For this question, the statement is not there, then doesn't matter whichever answer that you want to do. Okay, but if the statement is there, okay, then you have to do something like this here. If you choose N, or you can straight away do this one. Okay, it's a must. Okay, because it's actually according to the question. Okay, so that is actually how you do your state space schema. Read the question carefully. Okay, and then of course this one similar like what you did. Okay, it doesn't state it here in the question the low stock value and so on. Okay, so when you want to design it, okay, and then as what we discussed uh, in our assignment also, okay, so this one is related to back. In our assignment, I didn't use back. Okay, so for restock here, okay, so when you restock, okay, you are not going to restock one quantity only, yeah. Okay, so normally you are going to restock about, okay, some quantity, okay, some quantity there. So not only a single item, only a single product only. Okay, so normally you are going to restock as one quantity, one bulk, let's say 50 or 25 or 100 and so on. Okay, so meaning that it will be as a bag. Okay, it will be as a bag. So in this case, your variable declaration, let's say new stock, okay, or new stock will be as bag of product. Okay, different a little bit from our test, because our test is one item only. Here is as a bag. So when you want to restock, you are not restock one item or one single item only. You are going to restock not as a one quantity. You are going to not as one single one quantity lah. Not one quantity, one item only lah. So it means that when you restock, normally you have a few quantity, a bulk, okay, bulk items. That means that for product A, maybe you want to restock 25 quantity. Product B, for example, you want to restock 50 quantity and so on, for example. But in this one, you are going to restock one product, but with some quantity there. So that's why when you have some quantity there, it must be in terms of bag. Okay, you cannot do like this. You cannot do product only. Because when you put restock as one single product, it's only one single item only. So let's say the item in the database is only left with one. When you do new stock product here, you add a one, become two only in your system. So maybe that is not the case that you want. You want to have same product become 50, so you restock 49, for example. So meaning that it must be a bag. We also cannot put power set here because power set means different product. But our question say that a product only. So means that we are not restock many products. We are restock one product with many quantity. So that's why how to put that? We put bag of product here. Okay, bag of product here. So how to do restock? Okay, because now it is bag of product. Our variable also bag of product. Then if you want to show that, because when we stock the item, the product must exist in our system. So what you have to put here, new stock must exist in our system. But because both are bag, huh? Here also bag, here also bag, you have to use bag union. This one, sorry, uh, uh, sub bag. Okay, not bag union, sub bag. Okay, sorry, yeah. So sub bag, you have to use this sub bag. Okay, then product like that. Okay, because both are actually bag. Here bag, here bag. Okay, so you have to put sub bag symbol. Okay, so when you do this, means that your stock that you want to add into your product, product with the S, in your product, in your database exists, because this is restock, not add new stock. This is restock. So meaning that you want to add the quantity of product into your database. So must exist in your database. Okay, so you use sub that symbol. Okay, then how to add? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have product. I have category, design, and price. Okay, so we are going to update the product. So how to add? For a bag, you have to use bag union or bag addition. Okay, because that is the only symbol for us to add into the bag. So you use this symbol. Okay, because, okay, after that, how to add? This is a bag. On top here also a bag in our sixth way. So bag to a bag, okay, you don't need to use double square bracket. Double square bracket is only for a single item. Okay, you are adding quantity of item into your database. You don't need to put the double square bracket. So what you have to do, you just put new stock question mark like that. That's all. Without double square bracket symbol. Okay, without double square bracket symbol. So you just do like this. Okay, category remain unchanged because we are not adding new category. Design also remain unchanged. And then price also remain unchanged. Okay, so you just add this button. So when you want to restock the product. Okay, so that is actually to answer question restock here lah, restock here. Okay, and then the next one here, total product, display total quantity of product. How many? Okay, so for this one, we are not going to change our database data because we want to produce only the quantity of the product. Coffee matter, right? Okay. Okay. And then, because display total quantity of a product, you need to know which product that you want to find the quantity. So means that I need the product as my input. Okay, I cannot produce the quantity if I don't know which product that I want to produce the quantity. So means that I need to have the product as my input. Okay, and then of course, how many quantity, right? So total of type n. Okay, can be 0, can be 1, and so on. So n. Okay, so when you have input, remember every time you have input, most of the time, make sure that you do checking. Then you can produce the output. So first of all, if you want to produce the quantity, so the product must exist in your database. Okay, must exist in your database. So in this case, okay, you have to check your state space. Your state space is product, bag of product, bag of product. Here is only product, not bag of product. Okay, so when you have a single product, you want to check with a bag of product. Okay, this is where your symbol must be bag membership already. Different from just now. Just now, you have bag of product here. Okay, and then your state space also bag of product. Then you use sub a bag unit, sub bag. Okay, sub bag here. Different. Here, only a single product. Okay, whereas in your state space is bag of product. So when you want to do a checking, you cannot use sub bag. Cannot use sub bag. You have to use bag membership, this one. Okay, so how to do that? You put P question mark, and then you put bag membership product. Okay, like that. Or another one is by using in capital letter, in small letter. Okay, product. Okay, so these two tells you the same meaning. Exist. Okay, the product is exist in the system. Okay, the product is exist inside your system. So you use bag membership or in. Okay, either one is the same thing. Okay, either one, it is the same thing. Okay, so after you do checking, then you want to produce the output. So total equals to, okay, so you have two way of writing. So either you use using hashtag, P question mark, okay, or you use total equals to count product P question mark. Okay, so either you use hashtag or you use the keyword count. Okay, so it's either one to produce the output for back. Okay, to produce the output for back. Okay, so after you have done this, don't end, you cannot end like this only. Remember, when it comes to producing result like this, when you have at least one input, you have to put remain unchanged variable, because this one will also give you marks. So make sure that you put remain unchanged variable. Okay, remain unchanged variable. Okay, so from here, then you can produce the result. You can produce the result, but because of one input involved, remain unchanged variable must be inside uh, your answer lah. Okay, must be inside your answer lah. The remain unchanged variable. Okay, so that is actually how you actually put the result lah. Okay, so if let's say you want to do the error scenario, for example, for restock here, let's say I want to do the error scenario for restock. Okay, must exist. Okay, restock must exist. So for error scenario, not exist. So how to show not exist? You just add the not symbol. That's all. Okay, so for example, I want to do restock error. Okay, restock error. Let's say, if let's say you want to do restock error. Okay, so okay, and then you have this one, right? As your input, as your that one, and then this is your variable declaration. Okay. Here maybe you have, for example, message. Okay, where you do a few lah. Okay. Let's say product not exist, for example lah. And then product exists, for example lah. Okay, so you just put whatever comment that you want to have. Okay, then if you want to do the error scenario, okay, so here should be message equals to message, for example, not equal column, sorry. Okay, then here you just put not operator, that's all. Okay, you just put not operator. And then after that, you put conjunction as usual. What you did as a normal error messages equals to, for example, product not exist. Okay, so you just put like that. Okay, so if you want to do the error scenario for a bag. Okay, so meaning that here without not in the error, you put not. Okay, let's say for the total product, here exists. Okay, then you put not exist, not. Also same thing like not here. Okay, so same scenario, just put not. Okay, just put not if you want to do the error scenario for it. Okay, any question about your passive question here? Any question? Any question about this? All okay? Any question from all of you? Can follow? Or is it too fast? No for now. Okay, good. Okay, others? So this one, okay, it's actually passive question. I will try to look at other passive question and maybe I will put inside Google Classroom for you to do lah, for you to do. Okay, for other question for you to do. This one is only I combine with a combined sequence and back only lah for these passive questions lah. Okay, maybe later I will search from maybe last sem passive questions. I can combine. I will not take everything. I will combine a few from passive questions for you to do on your own. Okay, the passive questions. Okay, I will put inside Google Classroom. Okay, about your coursework marks. Okay, I'm still marking. Miss Mazrinda also still marking. So as I told you during your lecture on Wednesday, I will try to give the coursework mark by next week Monday. Okay, if or for those who need to do make good, okay, I will give make good on Tuesday morning, maybe around 10:30, something like that. I will personally email to you lah if let's say you have to do make good. Okay, so we'll be on Tuesday morning lah, into Tuesday morning. Okay. Yes. If let's say in the final exam, if let's say you have to do the complete schema, you just write the text form only. No need to write the whole like assignment. No. Assignment, yes, but for the exam, no need. Just text format only. Yes, correct. Okay. For exam, no need the long one. Just a very simple single line only. Okay. So any more questions? Any more questions for about your past year and so on? Any more questions? Okay, no more question. If not, if no more question, then I will end our class lah. So good luck to all of you for any papers that you are taking this semester. Good luck. Hopefully, you don't feel nervous and so on. Okay, wait. 3-2, the union back. Okay. Square back. Which one? 3-2, 3-2. This one is 3-1. This one is it? Is it this one? Okay, let's say you want to use a square bracket. Let me give you one more example lah before we end our class. For example, okay, the one that this one is actually assuming a customer, okay, assuming a customer wants to bought a product similar like purchase, let's say, it's similar like your test paper. Design a schema called purchase, okay. This is where you have to do that lah. That will allow a customer to purchase, let's say, purchase what one product only lah. Let's say, okay lah, I just put purchase. I didn't do specific data. A product, okay, from the shop. A product only. I just put a product only. Purchase a product. So this one I didn't do specific information lah. Purchase a product only. Okay, assuming this is the one lah. Okay, so if you want to do this, because only one single product only, not 10 quantity, 20 quantity, you just one single product. So this is where you have to do that one. Okay, you have to do the angle bracket. Okay, let's say I have this. Okay, I have this. Let me copy this one first. Okay, this one should be this one. Okay, so the customer want to chase one product. Okay, so it doesn't matter what kind of product. So if you want to purchase, okay, so you have to make sure that the product exists in our system also to let the customer purchase it. Must exist in our system. Okay, so you can do this or you can do something like this, similar lah. Okay, you can do something like this. So in order for you to allow the customer to purchase a product, the product must exist in the system. Okay, so you have that. So we don't need to worry about the quantity because for a customer, they want to purchase one single product only. So means that it exists, at least we have one in the system lah. So you don't really want to do how to say a lot of calculation here lah. So if you want to remove the product, let me copy the whole thing first here. Same thing. So here, this is where you need to do the angle bracket. So remove, you use the back difference or back subtraction, this one. Then, because only one single product, this is where you need to use this. P question mark like that. Okay, so this is where you need to do remove like this. Okay, compared to restock just now, you have a bulk of how to say a bulk of a quantity. You have to use this one. But if let's say I change again this question, where purchase, where a customer wants to purchase a quantity of the same product. Okay, so means that here is different. Quantity of the same product, different only. So means that here will be bag of product only. Okay, so when it is bag of product, here must be sub bag only. Okay, then here minus, but you don't need this one. Okay, understand or not? So means that it's up to the question. So this question, purchase a product, one single product. Okay, purchase one single product, for example, a single product. Okay, from a from a shop. Okay, from the shop. Okay, so when you have that one single product, your declaration is a single product. So you have to use membership, back membership. Okay, so when it is a single, then you use like this. Okay, you use like this. So you use angle bracket. Use angle bracket. But if let's say the question say that purchase a quantity of the same product, So you don't really know how much is the quantity. So assuming that this is included, because when you declare as a bag of product, there is a quantity already there. There is a quantity already. So you don't need to know the quantity already. You don't need to know. You just say that in this bag of product requested by the customer, there is a quantity of that already. Okay? So means that the product here must exist. Means that the quantity must be enough. If you want to do checking, actually you can also do something like this. Because the quantity is rand of product. Okay? Then if you want to do rand product P is less or equal to, you can do that, but it's actually not needed. You can do something like this if you want. Rand P, rand P question mark, okay, is a quantity here. So if you want to do checking, but this one is not really needed, is rand product, product, product. You can do this if you want, okay? Means that whatever that you want to purchase here, okay, must be lesser from the quantity in the database. Okay, if you want to be specific, you can put this line because the range data is the quantity. So the range of P means that the range that you want to request here, you want to purchase here, must be lesser of or the same as the what inside the what inside your database already for that product. Okay, so means that you can actually do this. You can actually do this. Okay, so but because now your declaration is back, you don't need the double square bracket already. Double square bracket, you don't need anymore. So it's up to how you declare your variable here. Okay, so here no need, here need if your question is purchase a single product from the shop. Okay, yes, correct. Okay, so any other question? Oh yes, can. Will the shape matter? It display means that if a question similar like question number 1 on top here, is it? Where if there is a question that use the angle bracket for the output of that, we will also use square brackets. But when we write in examination, will the shape matter? You put double line because one single line can be confused a little bit because sometimes we thought like you put bracket. Some of the students they use like square bracket similar like bracket. You understand or not? Similar like normal bracket. So better to put two lines. Better to put two lines. But normally if inside operation schema like this, seldom you see like this. It's good to have two lines. Okay, it's good to have two lines. Okay, any more questions? Others? Any more questions? Oh, okay. Oh, for this one, I didn't record. I stopped already recording. If let's say you want to take screen capture, whatever, you can screen capture. Because this one, I just realized I stopped recording already. Okay, so it will not be inside your video for this part. Okay, so you can actually take screen capture, whatever of this. Okay. So any other questions before we end our class for today? All okay, yeah? Okay lah. I think if no more question, I will end our class for today. Good luck to all of you. Okay. Most probably I will not be in the venue for the exam because I will be outside lah as a chief invigilator. Normally I will be outside. Okay. So if I have time, if I can go inside the venue, I will try to go inside the venue lah. Okay, so if let's say you have questions, whatever, if I am in the venue, you can ask me during that time. But I'm not so sure whether I have time to go inside the venue or not. But if let's say I can, I will go inside the venue because normally I will be outside as the chief invigilator outside, so I won't be inside the venue. Okay, so good luck to all of you for any paper that you are taking this semester. Okay, I don't know which part need to put. Hey, are you? Uh, Actually, the question will have operation schema, error scenario, and also back and sequence. But I cannot remember whether this year paper is sequence or back. You understand or not? Okay. It will be one only to do the operation, either back or sequence. It won't be both. But the question related to something like first question, for example, like the first question here, okay, can be combination of sequence or back. Okay, but the question like this or like the back here, I'm not so sure is either back or sequence for this year. Yes, also got because especially question number one. But of course, if question two, three, four normally related, let's say question number four, for example, if the theory a little bit theory mostly related to back and sequence because question one normally about theory, especially related to for example function or whatever. That one is general theory. Question number one normally general theory. Question two mostly will be operation schema only. Okay, operation schema like what you did lah in your test or in your tutorial, operation schema. So there will be scenario there, okay, where you have to look at the scenario and then do all the operation schema. Question number three, okay, will be related to question number two, operation schema, most of the time. Okay, most of the time. So means that questions will be on the what error scenario. Okay, will be more on the error scenario. Okay, so from there, when it comes to the error scenario, it will be how to say it will be related to your scenario just now lah, to your operation schema that you already done in your question number two lah. Okay, in your question number two. Okay, so for question number that is question number four, mostly more of written test, what we have discussed in the lecture. Okay. Also look back at your tutorial on how to answer. But mostly, when we talk about tutorial, you look from tutorial 6 onwards lah. Okay, because tutorial 6 onwards is actually related to function and so on. So mostly from your final exam, we are not concentrate like a normal declaration only. So mostly will be relation, function, and onwards already. So make sure that you understand on how to do that already for your exam. Okay. So not like power set of student, power set of car, just one single like that. No. Most of the time when it comes to exam, should be function or relation already onwards. So that's why do revision from maybe tutorial 6 onward, okay, to understand clearly on how to do the scenario, the operation schema and so on. Okay, any more questions before we end our class for today? Any more? All okay? Okay lah, if no, yes. Maybe okay. Why maybe in front? Can lah. Don't worry lah. I will, okay, just to let you know lah. I will be the one who's marking your paper, your final exam paper, alone. So, of course, there will be a person from Penang, the lecturer also. Okay, so this time I will mark all of your paper for formal method alone. So you don't have to worry. Just make sure that if you are not, you don't really know whether need or not, you just put everything. Okay, error or no error, there will be no deduction of marks. Okay, so I will mark your paper alone for this time. Not how to say, not sharing with another lecturer. So whatever that you do, try not to leave your answer blank, because blank I cannot help you already. Put something. Okay, so sometimes I can help you. Okay, if there are something there lah. If nothing, I cannot help you. So try to put some information, even though Z schema, right? You don't really know whether needed or not, important or not. Just put it inside your answer, because those lines can be helpful for your answer. Okay, because like when I mark your test also, I feel like, okay, this one is not needed, but because you lose mark for others, you don't have mark for others, I can still give half mark or 1 mark from there. So try to put that also in your final exam. Same style. Don't leave it empty. Okay, don't leave it empty. Okay, so any more before we end our class today? All okay, So good luck for your final exam. Okay. 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 So, okay lah, we will end our class for now. If let's say you have any questions, you can message me. Okay, you can WhatsApp me. But as usual, don't accept me straight away to answer your questions. Give me time to check the WhatsApp and so on. But you can WhatsApp me. Even though you are not under my group, let's say you are from group 6 or 7, you can still WhatsApp me to ask questions, no problem. Okay, so you just email to me. If let's say you want me to check your answer, you can also email to me. Okay, but as I told you in the lecture also, if tomorrow, assuming tomorrow is the exam, don't message me at night or tomorrow or the next morning ask question. I don't have time already to check. Okay, give me a few days time to check your answer and so on. So I can help you to do that, but don't give me midnight for me to check where tomorrow is the final exam, for example. I don't do that. Okay, so I cannot help you already. Okay, so if no more question, I will end our class for today, for the whole semester. I will end our class for the whole semester. Hopefully, I will not see any of you in this course again. Okay, so good luck to all of you. Okay, in your final exam, and then see you during the exam. Okay, thank you all. Bye bye. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.